Thanks for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon FBA business in the health and fitness niche. This business was created in December 2015 and it makes $4,082 per month in net profit. And the listing number for this site is 40654. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. So thanks for coming on, Pablo.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Yeah, before we dive into the heart of this and into all the questions, just a quick summary of the business for those watching this on YouTube who might not be on our listing page. A quick summary is, as I mentioned, built in December 2015, has a total monthly revenue of $35,528 with expenses sitting at $28,111 and a total net profit of $7,417. And that is over a 3-month average. With the sale of this Amazon FBA business, the sales includes the rights to the brand and the products, the website, domain, Facebook, Instagram, and the Pinterest page, as well as the current inventory and customer list, as well as the PPC data gathered to optimize the new owner's campaigns. So, Pablo, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses? Is this kind of your first stab at it, or do you have a history of running several different kinds of businesses?
I actually, at the same time when I started this business, I was also doing a drop shipping business, which did quite well, but it was just a lot of hassle. So I stuck with the Amazon. This was actually my first full-blown business. I was doing some reselling before, maybe for about a month before I did this business, but I realized quickly that the money was in creating your own brand. And yeah, so this was literally my first business that I created.
Yeah, so few people really understand how powerful having your own brand can be. So I'm glad to hear you say that.
Yeah, that's where the money is.
It really is, especially long term. It helps you out regardless of the situation. Because people actually connect with your brand, and you actually get word of mouth marketing going for your business. So they're pretty nice. How did you come up with the idea to start this business in particular without giving away the niche specifically?
Like I was reselling in the same area, like in the same niche, and I saw certain products were selling better than others. And then I looked at the market and I saw like a sub niche of that niche that wasn't really catered to. So that was my first idea and I went with it.
Awesome. Now, for someone that is looking at your business and let's say maybe they're brand new to online businesses or maybe just brand new to Amazon FBA in particular, could you just briefly describe how your business is making money?
Well, we are in the supplements niche, right? So we get a ton of repeat customers and as well as a ton of referrals. For example, I get emails all the time from people saying, oh, like I ran out of stock one time and they were like, oh, when are you going to have it back in stock? Because, like I'm your biggest advocate and, I need it for my like husband and cousin and so and so. So it's an evergreen niche. So it's people keep buying the same product over and over and over. So that's how kind of we make money.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you're benefiting from the monstrous amount of traffic that Amazon can send to their listings, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's basically why we're doing Amazon to begin with, because the traffic's already inherent. Now, it's not as easy as just putting your product on Amazon. You do have to, brand it well. It has to work. One of the biggest things that people don't understand, you can't just put something out there and expect it to sell if it doesn't work. That's why we have been successful, because our product works. Like we did custom formulations. We have ingredients that nobody else has. Like I've gone out of my way to look for stuff like that.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
So that's really why. Like if you look at our products, they'll say we have this thing that nobody else has or very few people have or would ever even know where to find.
Do you source your product mainly from like an American factory or is it overseas?
Yeah, no, all our products are made in the USA.
Awesome.
Now we source ingredients from different parts of the world, but we do create them all here. And we have one factory actually that does it for us.
Okay,
manufacturing
cool.
factory.
So it's all formulated here in the US. That's pretty cool. I've heard people, they rather for products where people actually buy, they prefer to manufacture it inside of America versus overseas.
Yeah. And we have, and this is one of the things, what another benefit of the business is I have a really good relationship now with our manufacturing. Our lead times are a lot shorter than some other people. So that's an added benefit to like the relationship that we foster with them.
Oh, for sure. That is always one of the big critical things with Amazon FBA is definitely the logistics of everything. Speaking of the Amazon FBA business, why are you selling the business? I know a lot of the Amazon FBA businesses, they're not super intense in terms of maintenance, and sounds like you know quite a bit about this, having researched your own products. Why not keep it and grow it?
There's actually another niche, and this just came out of chance. Literally, I want to say during the summer, opportunity came to me to go into another niche that's a lot bigger, but a lot more cash intensive. And I kind of want to focus on that because there's like, not to give away too much, but there's like a product that I'm kind of developing, but it's going to take a lot of cash to get into market. But it's a way bigger niche, way more cash intensive. So it was either keeping this and chugging along, which we can grow a lot, to be honest. There's a couple of tricks that you can, not tricks, but like, how you want to call them? What's the right word?
Strategies?
Yeah, that strategies that I've learned like in the last few months that I haven't yet implemented because I was like in the fence of selling or not selling. But there are a couple of things that you can do to grow this a lot bigger. But again, I kind of want to go into that other niche. Like, to be honest, I'm the type of person that once they kind of love challenges. So once one thing is done, it's like, okay, what's the next thing?
I hear you. I think that's a common entrepreneurial trait in a lot of ways. We're kind of like cats looking at shiny objects. Once we have
Yeah,
one, it's time to go
exactly.
get the next one.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, I'll be able to do this and this with this other one. So
Yeah, I
like
totally understand.
for example, like if I wasn't on the thing to sell the business, there's opportunities to actually go into brick and mortar. So there's things that you could do with the business to grow it. But again, I'm kind of itch my fingers kind of itchy trigger finger to go into this other bigger thing.
When you speak about brick and mortar, I'm assuming you mean like contacting other brick and mortar stores to actually get them to line their shelves with your product, right?
Like, yeah, like Costco, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I could definitely foresee that kind of potential with a product like this. So yeah, your plan for after the sale then is to reinvest your capital into a new Amazon FBA business, more cash intensive. Definitely a good reason to sell. We have a lot of people that do that, and they sell very, very good businesses to raise that capital.
Yeah, because I really didn't want to get a loan because then you're kind of tied to a bank and like
Yeah.
like the whole reason why I wanted to do my own business was to not report to anybody. So uh, if I ask for a loan, it's kind of like, okay, well, same thing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, what was the trajectory of this business the first few weeks and months once you started it? Did people just start rolling in right away, or did it take some promotion to get it
Yeah,
going?
actually, within our first month, we were profitable. I want to say like the end of the second month, and then I think by the third month, it just blew up like beyond my wildest imaginations of what it was gonna do. I remember when I first started, I was happy with like X amount of units being sold, and like by the third month, we were doing like 10 times that. And then I would get it, and then when we would get like maybe 70% of that, I would get unhappy, be like, oh, why? But it was like it's still like 5 times five times of what I was hoping when I first started. So
That's amazing. One of the best feelings I think as an entrepreneur is when you do something and it just exceeds all of your expectations. It just feels so good,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's overcoming the challenge, the part that the reason why we do it all. Is there anything you learned from this business in particular that you're going to apply to your future business? Anything that just really worked for you?
I think I know the things that I would invest in more, or the things that I would focus on more in terms of what's important. Like, I think I have that now nailed down. Like, what are the critical things that will make your product sell or not? So that's what I would take with because like at the beginning, you just put it up, you just hope that you do the right things. But now even like PPC optimization, stuff like that. I think I got in pretty good at that. Copy, like the type of pictures that you need. So all those things, and like an off Amazon strategy too, because that was the next thing that for this business. If I had not decided to sell was the off Amazon optimization, which I think I know what that would look like.
And that's part of it, getting into like brick and mortar stores, stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
Expansion.
and even your own website, right? Like, what is it that you need for it to be profitable, right? Because it's not plug and play basically like Amazon is, where you just
Right.
put it in, and you have an inherent audience already there. You got to build your audience. How you do that? I think I know I would do that now.
For you mentioned some critical components and just exploring that a little bit. Were you using any kind of software to split test your
Nothing.
headlines and images? Just nothing.
Actually, I did none of that. I know that now there's a lot of tools out there. I really don't buy into anything. I will say, here's a free plug. The only thing that I did use at the beginning was Jungle Scout, but even that, I think it's good if you're new, but I wouldn't use it again. Maybe just for some stats here and there, but honestly, in my business, I didn't use any software. Like, as a matter of fact, I got in some subscriptions from some softwares that I was like, I didn't even use and I forgot about them. And then three-fourths, man, I just kept seeing this bill and I was like, oh, what is this? Oh, I need to cancel it.
I totally understand that. I try out new software. I love playing around with SEO myself and things along those lines. And I just forget that the free trial is about to run off, and then I get the bill like, hey,
Exactly.
congratulations. Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
Here's your first charge on your card. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Is there anything you tried that didn't work with this business? Anything you definitely advise the new buyer not to do?
I don't think there's anything, honestly, that bombed completely. I think you got to set your expectations correctly in the different areas of the niche, because it's that whole 80-20 principle where 80% of your success is going to come from like 20% of your work. Not every product's going to sell like 100 units a day, but if you think about it in terms of building a line of products under a brand that's already recognized, one product might bring you, like, and I'm just throwing numbers, not that they're accurate, like 50K a year, and another would be 20K, another 10K. Still, you're still adding up, right? So
Right.
like that's one of the things that I learned, like setting the expectations. Oh, and the biggest thing is two things. One is having the right person, like your right partners in business, and by that it's like your contract manufacturers, and that would be like the biggest key, because without them you're nothing. They're the ones that are creating your product. So
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
like I said, I get pretty good pricing, pretty good lead times, I foster a relationship where I can text my contacts on a Sunday and they'll respond to me like right away, without, they won't get mad. They're like, oh, hey, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Like they're inviting me to hey, come down to see the manufacturing facility so we can show you around, all this stuff, right? Like,
That's great. I think that if that advantage continues on with the new buyer, that is definitely
yeah.
advantage over
And
the competition.
that's something that I would definitely transition over.
Right.
So that is something that I think this business is an advantage in terms of that.
Awesome.
Our lead times are, yes, awesome. To be honest. Like,
Speaking of,
yeah.
another form of leads that actual people buying your products, moving into the traffic and earnings section, would you say the majority of your traffic that hits your listing comes from like Amazon organic traffic, or it sounds like you're running quite a few ads as well? What's kind of the mix there?
I would say that yes, for the most part. Like at the beginning, it was a heavy PPC because nobody knew my product. But now I feel like I have a core group of customers that just keep coming back for more. Like I said, like I've run out of stock, I want to say twice this year. And both times people were like, oh my God, what's like,
What's happening?
what's going on? When are you going to get back in stock? Like I need, like, and I created a variation of one product, and then they were like, oh, is this the same product? Because I'm like your biggest advocate. Please tell me. I don't want to give it to my friends and then look bad because the original works so well and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, yes, it's the same.
It's good.
So
It sounds like you have some glowing testimonials.
yeah, so that's the thing, right? Like I think that now, and even I notice in my campaigns, right? Like the sales in my PPC campaigns have gone down, but my sales overall are steady. So that to me says, like people are searching. Even in when you run the PPC reports, like people are searching for my brand, for like the name of the by product. They're not searching for like the generic thing. right? Like if I was selling batteries, they're not searching for batteries and just
They're searching for
jumping into it.
energizing.
Searching, yeah, they're searching for my company's batteries, and that's coming out of search term. So that's one of the things that,
That's
and that's
definitely a
another.
benefit.
I think, yeah, I think that's another advantage. Our This was on purpose. The way we marketed the product, the way we branded the product. And like all our products, like our original product was the launching pad, but all our products are branded that way because there was a specific reason. That's what the reason was, like for people to be able to search for a product. Because a lot of people just have generic stuff there, and frankly, don't know a thing about branding. And some of the things they're doing are like black hat to like rank, but we're just doing it through good branding.
And branding, as mentioned, super important. And you mentioned several different products in this business. Could you break down the earning types and history there? Is it mainly just one product that is getting the lion's share of that, or is it kind of spread out?
Yeah, at the beginning, right now it is because the other two just got launched like I want to say 2 months ago. I mean, it takes a little while to get them going. And since I was selling the business, we didn't go all crazy like we did with the first one. But there's that opportunity there. Like we're still, even now, like with barely minimal PPC, we're still selling units every day. And there are some things that I guess I could share with if there's a buyer of things that you could do to blow that up. But again, like capital.
How stable are the earnings? Is it like seasonality? I mean, obviously it's health and wellness. So
No, honest.
really,
Yeah, there's seasonality. I think at the be like during the winter, where it just blows up, and there's also I'm expecting the same during fourth quarter now. But I think even throughout the summer, if you look at the P&L, it's been pretty steady in terms of the amount of net profit for the business
it's
since
good.
inception. Yeah, so it's been pretty steady. Like I said, people search for a brand now. Like we are a brand that people know, and some of our products are, they're like, hey, I need this. Like, like some of our reviews are like, oh, I gave it to my pastor and they love it. And I was like, okay. I was like, things that I would have never expected to see. I was like, okay, great.
Fantastic. Keep buying, please.
Yeah, yeah, yes, keep fine.
As far as shipping, do you ship by land or are you shipping it by air?
I let FBA do that.
Okay, so they it's from the factory as well?
Yeah, like yeah, it's seamless. You don't touch the product. So basically, your contract manufacturer creates it. You send them the Amazon labels. They label them and send them to Amazon. That's it. You don't touch them.
Okay, cool. I know people who run Amazon FBA businesses where their factories over in Asia. That's often a debate that they have whether they're going to ship it from the factory from overseas or over air. But I guess since yours is domestic, more or less, it makes that whole thing a lot easier for you.
Yeah, and that's another thing because a lot of these, foreign factories, like and especially in the niche that I'm in, I don't really want to deal with them just because of the possible
Yeah,
lawsuits and all that
definitely,
stuff that
definitely.
could happen. With a USA manufacturer, you not only have like the fact that they're certified in various different things, but as well they put you on their insurance.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so you are covered that way, and you have your own product liability insurance. So you're covered two ways. So that's something that you don't have with, foreign factories. So, I mean, whatever floats people's boats, but I didn't want to. Digestibles being done somewhere else, but I don't know how they're being done.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. As far as opportunities go, let's pretend that you're going to keep the business, keep growing it. You already kind of hinted at what you might do, but what would be the least risky path you would take to grow this business?
Least risky. Ooh, I don't know that there's a least risky in business, but I already looked at 2 or 3 products that I wanted to bring to market, and they would have like one product nobody's gonna find. I know that for a fact. So mystery left there. It would be quite cash intensive, but I think it would be. I wanna say it's gonna. I have a good feeling about it. The other two are in niches that one's in a really well-known niche, so that one would be cash intensive too, and then another one is not. Is actually in a smaller niche that I think there's a huge opportunity there. So those were the 3 next things that I would have done.
What would you do if you wanted to grow this business insanely quickly, just threw caution to the wind and went as risky as you could go to grow as fast as possible?
Oh, I again, there's some advertising stuff, and I would share with I don't want to blurt it out here, but I would share with the buyer of something that there's a couple of things that you could do in terms of even for your own site to like if you really want to invest and blow up really fast, there's ways to do that. Like,
Excellent. It's so
and I think
mysterious.
no, because I've tried it. I tried it like at a smaller scale on my site, and I was like, wow, like really? And I just didn't keep going because I did it in August, and then I had this other opportunity, and I was like, kind of want to do this other thing, but if it doesn't, like you said, I already have a project plan.
Right.
Like if this falls through or this didn't go through or somebody didn't want to buy it, I was like, okay, I'll wait a couple months. No, okay, well, these are the things I'm going to do now. So,
Speaking of risk, what do you think the biggest risk is that a buyer should be aware of with this business?
well, it's supplements. So you have to be aware of that you're selling digestibles to people. But again, I have product liability insurance and I can share with them the company. It's not that expensive for what you're making. And as well as you have the contract manufacturer in the USA that they put you on a rider, what it's called. They basically put you on their insurance thing. And the fact that they're certified, it's called GMP certified, good manufacturing practices. They're also inspected by the FDA. So they went through an inspection, I want to say August, July, something like that. Because I remember they had a shipment and they were like, oh, we're delayed like a week because the FDA's here. And so like they have to be certified for those good manufacturing practices. They have to do certain things that like food companies, for example, have to do, right? The things that you eat. So
Right.
you're covered in that way. So like the risk is minimized. It's zero? No, obviously nothing is a zero risk, but it's as minimized as possible. Like I don't source any, and I let them know like this ingredient do not source from XYZ country because I've heard bad things, and they'll source it from the country that I want.
Oh,
Right.
that's cool.
So
Can you describe the amount and type of work you're doing for this business? Do you have like weekly and monthly tasks? What is it exactly that you're
to
doing?
be honest, at the beginning, the only time that you're really busy is when you're creating new products because you're constantly talking to people, you're creating the packaging, you're thinking about the copy and all that stuff, right? Like, but after that, I don't think you do much. Like, I mean, you spot check every week to make sure something bad didn't happen, right? Like, because there's still some grimy competitors out there that will say like a bad thing here and there, but you could get Amazon to handle that. But other than that, and once and like at the beginning, also I was optimizing my PPC all the time because I didn't know anything about it. But now I'm to the point where I know, okay, these are the keywords that work. Like nothing else.
When you say spot check, just for someone who might be new to Amazon FBA, could you just describe what spot check is real quick for our
Yeah.
audience?
So like you expect a certain type of sales during the week, right? And you basically want to go in there at least once a week to make sure that you're making the same sales. And if you're not, it could be various things. It could be seasonal, right? Like there could have been a big holiday. There could have been a big natural disaster. There could have been a bunch of things. You also want to check that your PPC, that you're still running, getting as much impressions as you were before, right? Because if you were getting 1,000 impressions, let's say, and now you're getting like 100, why are you doing that? So these are the things that you want to check on, as well as your budget. Like, but that should only be done really once a week. I don't check my PPC every day because it's not like Facebook ads at all. It's a lot simpler. And I have already data, like, a year's worth of data with thousands and thousands of dollars invested of PPC of what keywords work for what product. If they launch a new product, yeah, they're going to have to go in there and figure out, hey, this keyword, okay, like for the first 3 months, let's keep an eye on our spend and the keywords that work and, like cleaning stuff out and stuff like that. And that you could also actually outsource that as well. But I like to do it in house because I like to learn all these things just so that if I hire somebody, then at the end, if I like we grow a lot and then I need to hire somebody, they can't just give me the runaround. I
Yeah.
actually know what they're talking about. Yeah. So, but that's like right now, after a year of almost running this business, I might do a cleanup of some keywords maybe once a week, just because Amazon does change the way their PPC works a lot. But like this week, I haven't done anything,
Excellent.
to be honest. Yeah, like I haven't done anything. I just checked. I'm like, yeah, are we selling? I know what I expected. Yeah, okay. So, and then go on my day. Like I have the Seller Central app, and then I just look like periodically during the day because I'm obsessed with that. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we're at this point. We're always at this point at this time. Okay, are we at this point? Yeah, okay.
So, what skills or requirements for a new buyer would you suggest for them to have for someone that might not be familiar with this niche?
Actually, you don't even need to. You just need to be somebody who wants to learn, to be honest. Because right now, the business as is literally just running along. That's the beauty of Amazon, to be honest, that, you don't need to do anything other than optimize your PPC for people to look at your listing and buy. And
Excellent.
optimize your listing already, right? Which has been done already, which is
Right.
already done. Now,
It's always
if they
nice.
wanna, yeah, if they wanna expand on the business, then yeah, there's some things that they need to learn, like copywriting. How to sell your product. The wording to sell your product, type of pictures, the PPC. But again, a lot of these things can be outsourced. Like the PPC management, most people outsource that because they don't want to learn.
Would you be willing to sign a non-compete with a buyer that buys this business, something saying like, "Hey, look, I'm not going to go start this exact same product on
Yeah,
Amazon if you buy this from me"?
yeah, I would sign a non-compete because I wouldn't have time anyway because I
Yeah,
have
of
to
course.
start that other business, and that's gonna take all of my time and resources, right? Because that's gonna be a behemoth.
Now, honestly, you seem pretty advanced when it comes to your knowledge. How much support would you be willing to offer a new buyer?
Oh, I'll be willing to offer. I think I said the first month we have like Skype calls, like weekly Skype calls, and I'll be on the like email support and stuff like that. And I'll show them. I'll explain to them the inner workings of Amazon. If they're like brand new, the inner workings of Amazon, how things work, like the PPC aspect of it, as well as letting them know, like I was mentioning, the different types of products that I would be looking at to get into and the context for them because I know one and nobody's gonna find, haha, and because it took me a long time to find, and yeah, so I'll be willing to give them support. I mean, if they're buying this, I'm giving up my firstborn, so I would want them to know everything to keep it, to keep it running, chugging along,
For sure, for
because I want
sure.
to see this business do well.
Yeah, so obviously the best case scenario here for you and for Empire Flippers is someone comes in and buys the business upfront for full list price. But would you at all be open to someone that says, "Hey, look, I'll give you 70% upfront, and then I'll give you 30% closing after we hit these certain training goals"? Would that be something you'd be at all open to?
It would depend on what the training goals are, because I
Okay.
don't want to blanket say yes, but
Yes, of course.
I'm yeah, I'm open to training them, but I don't like again what that training is, and like are they saying, hey, you need to
Do my
be
business
there
for me that I
next 6 months, yeah,
bought. Yeah, of
you know,
course.
my beg and call, then maybe not, but like yeah, I mean I definitely give them support. I think yeah, I'll definitely give them support and like the knowledge I have on the business and just business in general for them to be able to grow this thing. Because like I said, if nobody wants to buy, I'm gonna grow it myself.
Excellent. Before I ask you my final question, the hot seat $1 million question here, just to give a quick summary again for
Okay.
everyone out there listening in. This business was built in December 2015, has a monthly revenue of $35,528, with expenses sitting at $28,111, and a total net profit of $7,417, and that is over a 3 month average. With the business, it includes the sale rights to the brand and the products, the website, the domain, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest pages, current inventory, their customer list, as well as their PPC data gathered that they use to optimize the campaigns. So, Pablo, my final question for you is what is your best pitch in 30 seconds or less on why someone should purchase this business?
I think there's a couple of reasons, right? One, our brand is already recognized. That's something that I think is invaluable in today's market, especially how Amazon is turning now into, it's getting really hard for new sellers to get in now based on the restrictions they have. So I think the brand is really well recognized. And like I said, there's proof of it because they're showing up in the PPC reports as searching for those terms, which it's the equivalent of somebody searching for Pepsi. Like that's what's happening now. Uh, the other things is I have a great relationship with our manufacturer that I'm willing to transition over. I think you will not find a better, and I've talked to like before I picked this one, I spoke to maybe 10, 15 different contract manufacturers. I don't think you will find a better customer service than this one. Literally, on the phone whenever I want. Text phone, better lead times you cannot beat. And that's something that I foster. And I really, really, really hope that whoever's the buyer continues that relationship, fosters that relationship, because they're good people. And the third thing is the freebie is that I'll give you a way to scale the business, like 3 products that I know I've been looking at and I've done research on that. And I even have contact because I even contacted these people and like got pricing and everything of how to scale the business.
That's excellent.
There's a lot of opportunity. But again, so that's really my pitch. I mean, I think my baby can grow bigger.
Excellent. Well, for those out there on YouTube watching this and you're wanting more information about this Amazon FBA business, the link will be below the video and it will take you to our marketplace listing. Now, if you're watching this on our actual listing and you want more information about it, you can become a depositor today. It's super easy. All you have to do is click the button, make a deposit, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. So Pablo, thank you so much for coming on. It was an absolute pleasure.
Likewise. Thank you so much for having me.